Hello, hello. Just making sure that everybody can hear us. And while we're waiting for the rest of you guys to hop on, if you could just drop in the chat where you're watching from today, where you're listening from, just so we know that you guys can actually hear us. And we just love to see where you guys are tuning in from. I'm in Alabama. I'm sure by the end of this session today, you will very much be able to tell that I'm from Alabama. Lee's in Atlanta, which isn't too far from me.
It's
We've
so
got
cold. It's so
my
cold.
gosh. We had snow flurries today and yesterday, which is so wild.
Very unusual. We did too. I was driving home later last night. We had snow. It was crazy.
So
Of course,
wild.
of course, last time we said that, we had everybody else to call us from Canada.
Literally. And look, we have Spokane, Washington. Like they're like, okay, guys, come on now. It's 50 degrees. It's not that cold. But no, we did have snow flurries. So it was cold enough for that.
Exactly. I'm totally with that. It's cold for us. So we'll leave it at that. But yeah, we got people on in much colder places.
Oh, yeah.
We got no excuse. In
No.
Wisconsin, all right.
Exactly. They're probably like, guys, come on.
Fair. Like you guys are weenie. It was 27 to be fair this morning here. Not feels like the real.
Yeah. We had a freeze warning, so it's real deal cold here in the South, guys.
That's right. Well, and I don't want to throw us off too much here, Hannah. Not Jimmy. This is Hannah. I'll change your name.
Yes, I'm not Jimmy.
But why don't you tell people that are on just real quick, what is Listing Leads Basics? Like, I think it's somewhat clear, but like, why we do this?
Listing Leads Basics is literally exactly what it sounds like. We are here to give you guys the basic tools that you need to have success with the Listing Leads platform. So we're going to really focus on what Jimmy likes to call the big three today. And we'll get into what exactly the big three are and how to use them so that you can start seeing real success with the Listing Leads platform. So it's really just getting you guys familiar with the platform and then giving you guys some tips that we recommend and that other people have seen success with to have that success with using Listing Leads.
Absolutely. So take it away. With that said, take it away.
Okay, yes. So with that said, welcome again to today's session. This is the Listing Leads basic session, if I can speak today. Again, I'm not Jimmy. I'm Hannah, and I'm the chief trainer here at Listing Leads. And I'm really excited that you made it here with us today. And if you have logged into the platform already, maybe you've looked around and you've thought, okay, where the heck do I even start? Then you are in the right place today. And by the end of this training, our goal and our hope is that you'll know exactly what Listing Leads is designed to do and how to use the big three that I mentioned, which is going to be email, text, and direct mail to start attracting more listings consistently. Now, I want to let Lee introduce himself to you guys, and then I'm going to share my screen while he's doing that for you guys as well.
Cool. Awesome. I'm Lee Adkins. I'm based in Atlanta, as we said before. I've been active in real estate for a long time, coming up on 20 years, actually. Got my license in 2006. I've worn pretty much every hat there is in the business, from solo agent to team member to leading operations for a team, broker, owner, all those good things. So kind of here to help out with that piece of things. And I'm also really kind of an operational type of person. So love this idea of you guys being consistent with executing great content that we provide for you. I also want to say super quick, we always record these sessions, and I will post the recording in the Facebook group. But for right now, I'm going to drop a link to the Facebook group. So if you're not a member of the Facebook group, please join. We always record these. We always post them in the Facebook group as soon as I can do a quick edit after and get those up. So back to you, Hannah.
Okay, so hopefully everybody can see the Listing Leads kind of homepage. This is what comes up when you type in listingleads.com, and I'm already logged in, so I'm just going to hit at the top right, access the content, and here opens your listing attraction plan. And before we get into the big three, basically the listing attraction plan is the one thing that you can count on every single week. We're going to give you a Monday through Friday plan that you can use to attract more listings. And so these are campaigns Monday through Friday that are going to help you do exactly that. But today we want to focus on the big three. So let's start with the big picture here. And Listing Leads is not just another shiny tool, it is a marketing execution system. And our job is to make sure that you're consistently using the only three channels that actually move the needle, and that is the big three. So, number one is email. Email is that value first communication that's going to earn that attention. Two is text. So those are the personal one-to-one follow-ups that are going to build those relationships. And then three is direct mail. And that is your tangible authority that stays on their counter, not in the inbox. And this is something that they're not going to just toss in the trash. Our direct mail campaigns are so, so good. And they really work. So I can't wait to share some of those with you guys today. But that's it, the big three. And we help you run those three channels every week using our proven templates and blueprints. So the first thing that I want to talk to you guys about is email. So email is going to be the heartbeat of your marketing, and you're going to want to send 2 emails per week. And the first email for the week that you're going to want to send is the deal of the week email. This is the email that's going to get that attention. It's short, it's curiosity driven, and it has zero fluff, as we like to say. There's no price on this email, there's no address, no photo, just the hook. And usually Monday is the day that we suggest you guys send out the deal of the week. And usually every single Monday, we are going to have that campaign for you in your listing attraction plan. It just so happens this Monday we don't, but 9 times out of 10, we're always going to have the deal of the week for you in the listing attraction plan. But that doesn't, just because we don't have it in there this week doesn't mean that you shouldn't still send out that deal of the week email campaign. So I'm going to click into this and show you guys what that looks like. And basically, this is the email that, like we said, it does not have a price, it does not have an address, there's no photo, it is just a hook. And we recommend, again, to send this every single Monday. So a few things I want to go over just about the layout of the campaign, and then I'm going to toss it over to Lee so that he can tell you guys a few other things about the deal of the week. So first, when you open up the campaign, we have the introduction section here, and this just gives you a brief rundown of what the campaign is. We have a lot of tips and tidbits that we throw in there for you guys. So really good stuff in the intro. Underneath that, we have the before you get started section. And this is basically saying before you send out an email, make sure you have these 3 things in place. So number 1 being an email tool. Me and Lee always like to say that you do not have to have an email tool to send this out. That is just something that we recommend. Makes your life a little bit easier. But if you have a Gmail, you can send these emails out, okay? You don't have to have an email tool. Underneath that, we have the 3 simple lists, and these are just the 3 lists that we recommend you go ahead and have set up. So the first one being prospects. That's the people you haven't done business with yet. We also have recommend a list for your sphere of influence or past clients. That is the people that you have done business with. And then a list for your entire database, which is all of your contacts. And one thing that we like to mention, when it says your entire database, you're not necessarily going to be sending this email out to every single contact in your database. It's basically a combination of these 2 lists. But again, these lists just kind of help you send smarter and involve a lot less thinking.
And if I can jump in a little bit on that, the idea is that, and these are generally unique to each campaign. To your point, it's got the instructions down here. The idea is that the language is targeted in that way. If it's someone the feeling of the language is a little more like, hey, I know you, I'm giving you an update. If it's more for prospect, the language is a little more designed to engage them as if you have not connected recently. So there's a method to that madness, and we always provide that group. And yes, Hannah, you said it great. Like, it's basically the prospects, sphere past clients, or both, We should
Mhm.
probably word it that way.
Yes.
But again, these instructions are there for that. They're important and to help you do that. I also want to lean back on what you said about deal of the week super fast.
Mhm.
You're about to get there, but I just wanted to mention it's confusing to people because people are like, we're so used to sending listings. Like, I always get questions around like, why don't we put in a picture? Or how do I have to get permission to share somebody else's listing? The whole point of this, I love the word hook that you're using. Like, the whole point of this is to get a reply. If we send them a listing, they're like, cool, I got it. I can go drive by it now.
Right.
We're sending the idea that there is a magical deal and they have to reply back to you to get information on that deal and therefore engage. So I feel like we can't overstate that. It is a little confusing, but it's an intentional strategy.
Exactly. So it's positioning you as the source. They can't get any more information unless they reach out or respond to this email from you. So that's the whole point of this. Um, back to so the third tip that we give you guys is this is a plain text format. So we cannot stress this part enough. Like, you don't need to hand this over to the marketing person on your team to fluff up and add images or some kind of fancy, signature at the bottom. This is meant to be a plain text email format. And because it is a plain text, it feels like that sent from iPhone type of email. It makes people more inclined to respond. So we don't want to include fancy signatures here. We don't want to I know a lot of agents have like their uh headshot somewhere in emails. Sometimes, like, we want to leave that stuff out and keep it super super simple. And while we're talking about that, I actually want Lee for you to kind of give them a rundown of the deal of the week tool, because that would kind of take out a lot of the guessing, and it literally does this for you. So I'm going to click into that and let you kind of give them a rundown of the AI mode and then the tool that they can actually use that's free.
Love
Uh,
it. Yeah, that's perfect. I'll drop we'll start with the tool if that works. I just dropped a link in the chat to that. And so what this is, and especially since we don't have a deal of the week in the Monday this week, which is simply it's a technical thing.
yes.
This does not require a login. You can literally just go to the link in the chat, automate.listingleads.com/deal, and that will pull up this page. You don't need to log in. You don't need to join the wait list. You can just go through. And if you don't mind, just scroll down, put in a couple of areas. So what we're doing here first is we're finding a deal in your area. So yeah, just pick enough. What we need here is enough area that there's going to be a few options. We don't want to have one. And then you can obviously choose your price range. We can narrow that just a little bit, Hannah, not too much, but just enough to make it relevant. And obviously this may vary by your market. Your bottom point of your price point could be $1 million, or a million could be a crazy luxury. And then you can select houses, townhomes, or condos based on what you personally work, what's available in your area. If you're in an urban area, you may not have a bunch of single families. And then when you hit go, it's going to simply look, what it's doing is searching Zillow specifically for properties that have been saved a lot, meaning they're interesting to people. And then, yeah, if you want to scroll down just a little bit, Hannah, that this will show that this is the property that was picked. Oh, that is a beautiful house for
I know it is really nice.
324. But we can see it's got 40 saves on Zillow. And by the way, these are always new listings for now. The setting is listed in the last 7 days. We're working on some other parameters, but these will always be new, and we're always pulling it by saves. So if you hit the auto write an email button right above that, this will actually just write an email for you about that property. And then you can paste it into your email platform and send it, whether that's, like we said, Gmail, Fancy or MailChimp or Constant Contact or something like that. But this has literally now done this for you. Now, I will say this, make sure you save the link to that deal, because the tool, you don't log into the tool. So make sure you save the link to what the deal is so that when someone responds, tell
Yeah.
me more, you know what it is. But this has literally now just generated a unique subject line and a unique email based on that specific property. So again,
Yeah.
this is the deal of the week tool. It's totally free. You don't need to be logged in. You can use this to execute a deal anytime you want. And I would recommend using it this week because we don't have one in the Monday.
Yes.
Now, AI mode is basically this, but it's truly set it and forget it. So AI mode, which I'll drop a quick link. There's a free 30-day trial for subscribers if you want to try it out. It will find the deal for you every week and send it out automatically, as well as the email of the week, which we're going to get to in a minute. I'll drop a quick link to that if you want to learn more. That's not this webinar, but we'll definitely help you.
Yes.
All right, back to you. Sorry, that was longer than it maybe should.
No, you're good. I think that information is super great. And the deal of the week tool just makes your life so much easier, guys. I highly recommend at least just giving it a shot. Because what I do want to mention when we get down to the how to execute section, you can see we have a blurb here. This is the subject line. So all you do is copy that. You hit that button, it automatically copies it to your clipboard, and then you can go paste that into the subject line of just your email platform or your email tool if that's something that you have. And then when it comes to the email content, you're going to do the same thing. Hit that copy button. It's going to copy it to your clipboard, paste that into your email platform or your email tool. But all of these bits of information that you see that are bracketed, that is information that you're going to want to change. So if you're sending this out manually, not using the deal of the week tool, you're going to need to change all of these bits of information and add in the information about the property that you're featuring. That's why I love the deal of the week tool, because it literally, all the work is done for you. It makes this so easy to execute every
Copy and
single
paste.
Yes. And obviously all of our campaigns are meant to be easily executed, but just having that tool fill in these bits of information for you, it is literally a game changer. So highly recommend you doing that. Homework after today's session, send out the deal of the week email, use the tool, see how you like it. Underneath the first part of the how to execute section, we have the tips here to transferring this email content to your email blast app. If that's something that you need steps to do, we have it for you there. And then underneath that, we have a blurb or a little bubble here that gives you the target audience just one more time, which is prospects. And I don't know if I mentioned that up here, but anytime you're in this before you get started section, we're always going to give you the target audience for the specific campaign, and we're going to highlight it with this yellow bubble here. So if you're ever confused, who do I send this to, we're always going to give you that here in this section, and then we're going to tell you one more time at the end of the how to execute section. So there's your target audience once more, and an example there at the bottom. Now I'm going to go back to the listing attraction plan. So we've talked about the first email that you're going to want to send each week. Let's talk about the second email. This second email is going to be a value-based email. And this one is for trust. It's going to be short. It's got really good insights about the market. And this week's email is exactly that. I want to show you guys that really quick. So as you can see today, November 11th, we have the email of the week here. And this one is titled Up 56%. And so basically this message positions you as the trusted advisor who helps homeowners make sense of what is happening. You're not just another agent pushing for a listing. It shows that you are empathetic, you're data driven, and it is designed to spark those conversations. So let's take a look at this campaign. Again, just like the other one, we have the before you get started section. We recommend that email tool. But again, if you don't have an email tool, you can still send these emails out. Don't let that stop you from sending these. We have the 3 simple lists again, and this one is going to go to your entire database. But remember, like we said before, you're not necessarily going to send this to everyone in your database. You're going to send it to that combined list of prospects and sphere of influence past clients. So we show you that recommended audience there. Again, this is a plain text format. Really, really want to stress that. It is not supposed to have any pictures, nothing fancy. You're literally sent from iPhone. You want it to look like you literally just typed this out and sent it to them. And you're going to want to paste it as is. You can always include like a short signature at the bottom, your name, your number, maybe your website, but literally that's it. You don't want to overcomplicate this one at all. Underneath that, we have the how to execute section again. This one is super easy to use because you are literally just copying and pasting. There's virtually no changes to be made to this one. Obviously, at the bottom here, you're going to want to add your name, but other than that, this one is super straightforward. Again, we're going to give you the steps on how to transfer that email content to your email blast app. And we're going to give you that target audience one more time. And one thing that I wanted to show you guys here is we give you the subject line, which is up 56%, but we're also going to give you that little pre-header text or preview text, however you want to call it. And that's going to be that selling is getting harder, but there's a solution. So that's a kind of a newer thing that we've started adding into our campaigns. And I love that we're doing that. I think the preview text makes a huge difference, especially when it comes to open rates. And I know if I see an email and the preview text is a hook that makes me want to open it, I'm going to open it. So I love that we've been adding that into our campaigns. I also, Lee, do you want to touch a little bit on the AI mode when it comes to the email of the week as well?
So AI mode does also automate the email of the week, and it's even easier because you don't have to even find a property. It just sends this email automatically every Tuesday. What I do want to mention really quick, I had an interesting conversation with a client this morning. I said, isn't that a lot of email to send? You're sending one Monday, you're sending one Tuesday. We don't normally get into this in this call, but I want to mention it. The idea is that we're teeing up your week of follow-up. So you've got two emails going out. They may not be to the exact same audience either. That's part of the key here is, yes, we're sending two emails, but they're not necessarily going to the exact same people. But the idea, and as we'll get to in a minute, is that you're teeing up a week of follow-ups with people that engaged with your email. And so, and look, if you're doing it yourself, you can send it whenever you want. We recommend it Tuesday as an easy button to do it Tuesday. If you want to send it Thursday, if you get behind, you send it Friday. That's great. We're trying to engage your database to narrow your funnel so you've got a short list of people who engaged who are worth following up with directly.
Yeah.
Did I tackle your actual question, or did I just go get excited on AI mode again?
No, I think you did. I think you did. Yes. So those are the two emails that we recommend you send each week. Specifically when it comes to the value-based email, again, you're going to want to keep this very conversational. You can always add your name, maybe your number at the end of the email, but that's literally it. If you're using AI mode, it's literally done for you. Don't even have to think about it. But if you're sending these out manually, keep them simple. You're going to want to skip the logos, the fancy graphics. If the email reads like an email that you would send to your friend, then you're absolutely doing it right. These emails are tested and proven to work, so there is no need to spruce them up or run them through your favorite AI chatbot. I know a lot of people like to do that. Don't do that. Just use what we give you guys because they're proven and they work. I do want to mention before we move on from email, if you want to see more examples of top performing email templates, they are located in your dashboard. On the left-hand side over here, you can see email campaigns. If you click into that, that is all of our email campaigns that we have for you guys. It's literally an endless scroll. Really, really good stuff in there. So if you're ever looking for another email or you didn't prefer the one that we have for you guys for a specific week, check out that email. Check out the email campaigns in your dashboard because there are so many to choose from. Now, I want to move on to number 2, which is texting. And texts are where the conversations start. But really, the conversation begins when we send that email, that value-based email the day before. That's really setting up these conversations for the week, like Lee mentioned. And text is where we are going to follow up with those people that opened that email. We recommend that you send or aim to send about 100 to 200 texts a week. And that's just 20 to 40 a day tops. I know it sounds like a lot, but it really isn't in the grand scheme of things. And again, who are you going to text? You are going to text the people who opened one of your recent emails and haven't heard from you directly in the past 30 to 60 days. So let's click into the text script for this week, and it is quick market reality check. And again, this text is designed for everyone who opened your last email but didn't respond. Again, these feel personal, conversational, and they create an easy opening for a reply without the pressure. These are so good. And the same thing like we tell you with the emails, don't overcomplicate these texts. They are literally simple and they're meant to feel like someone just texted you themselves from their iPhone. It's not these I know I get texts all the time from agents, and it's like it's got their headshot in the text, like one blurb is like a headshot, and I'm like, what is going on? Like, this is so weird. But this is literally meant to feel like a text that you got from a friend. So of course we have the introduction, just like with the other campaigns. We have the before you get started section here, and we recommend before you send a text, make sure to have these 3 things in place. So number 1 is a CRM that can send texts. Again, you don't have to have a CRM to send these texts out. Don't let that stop you from sending these. Don't let that be your excuse. Oh, I don't have a CRM, I can't send them, I'm sorry. No, if you have a phone that sends text, you can send these out. Now we do mention that most modern CRMs can do this. So Follow Up Boss, Lofty, definitely use your CRM before you buy anything new for sure. Like, don't spend money on something else. But it is really, really helpful to have those tracking history and batch sending capabilities. And then we also give you some options. If you click this, this is actually a link. And if you're looking for a mass texting tool, if that's something that you're in the market for, we have you some of the ones that we recommend. But again, start with those manual sends if you have to. You do not have to have these fancy tools. We set these campaigns up so that you can use them right now with what you have.
Yeah,
Again,
and I just want to double down on that, Hannah, real quick. We have a group that we meet with of some power users, and it is amazing to me how much all of them say, I don't even look at it, I don't even think about it. Like, I copy it, I paste it, I send it, it works. So that really is the simplicity of it. We know you're already paying to get this content, and we want it to be easy button for you. There's no, the only homework is sending it. The homework is not making it pretty or changing it or running it through AI. We spend a lot of time, humans spend a lot of time every week on this content. So
exactly. I know. And it's so funny. Like, we have a lot of people reach out. I know Lee talked about this a little bit, but people are like, should I run this through my chat GPT? Like, should I take, and it's like, no,
graphic designer,
It's like, no, they're literally made, they're already perfect. I know that's a scary word to use, but they are literally like, just use them how we have them for you guys, and you will see results with them. I promise. You don't need to spruce them up at all. Underneath the step or the tip number 1 that we give you, we also have the 3 simple lists again, similar to the email. It's going to be prospects, sphere of influence, entire database. And then we also recommend to apply 2 filters. Engaged recently, so they've opened an email or visited your site in the last 7 days, or not contacted recently, so there's been no outreach in 30 days for prospects or 90 days for clients. And that overlap is kind of the sweet spot. It's that engaged but untouched. So that is who we are going to want to send this text to. And then again, plain text format, we've already touched on that. And then the how to execute section down here, same thing. You're literally copying, pasting this into your text block. And one thing that I do like to say, if you're using if you're just using your phone to send these out, I would recommend logging into Listing Leads on your phone, having that in your browser so that you can easily switch between the browser to your messaging app, and just makes it a lot easier to copy, paste, send. Again, you're going to want to change the name of who you're sending it to, and you could say that it's Jimmy. You might get some responses if they know you and know that you're not Jimmy. But yeah, you're going to want to change that to your name, obviously. And then underneath, we give you the steps on how to send this message via one of those mass SMS or DM tools, if that's something you need. And then we're going to give you that target audience one more time, which is prospects. And there is that text for you guys. That is how that should look. So let's go back to the listing attraction plan, and let's move on to the last piece of the big three, which is direct mail. So when it comes to direct mail, we recommend sending 1 to 2 campaigns per month if that's in your budget. And we recommend 2 different types of campaigns. There's farm letters and there are radius letters. Those farm letters are going to be letters that are going to help you kind of stay top of mind in your farm. Those radius letters are going to be ones that you drop around recent listings, open houses, or equity reviews. And I want to show you guys a couple examples of those direct mail campaigns. So let's start with farm letters, and I will show you guys this one really quickly. So this is how to avoid losing $23,000 if you sell your home in 2025. And this is a farm letter, like I said. Again, we give you the introduction section here, and then the before you get started section. And I do want to kind of touch on these lists just a little bit because they are different than obviously the list that you're going to be sending to the email or the text. And so these are the core lists that we recommend you guys just kind of have in place. It's just going to make your life a little bit easier when it comes to sending these campaigns out. So the first,
I'll hop in on that too, if that's okay. And thank you for dropping that down. But yeah, so these audiences are slightly different. Obviously, direct mail is tied a little more to lead gen. You don't have to have their contact information to reach out to them. But at the highest level, you've got obviously a farm list, which is typically a geographical area, a neighborhood, a zip code, whatever you're mailing to as a farm. A radius list is something, we'll show examples of these, but I'll just tackle them all to differentiate them while we're talking. A radius list is more tied to, like a just listed, a just sold, a magic buyer letter, which is a buyer need. So those would be tied more to, hey, I just listed a house in this area. Let me hit the people around that area. And then a specialty list could be anything from very specific, people with X amount of equity for sale by owners, silver tsunami, which is a wave of older people downsizing or otherwise selling their homes. So there are different pieces of direct mail as well. We also know these are a little more expensive. So we recommend doing the direct mail, and we'll get to this, but once or twice a month. It's not weekly per se, but we provide content that's relevant for it weekly, but we don't expect you to spend money to mail a postcard every week.
Exactly.
But I just want to be sure that the audiences are really clear. And that farm list, as you can see, in a perfect world, if your CRM or your data you're buying to do this can narrow you down to people that have strong equity, that have been longer term owners, obviously that's a better use of your money. That said, for a farm in particular, especially if you haven't done it, do it, go for it. Don't stress if you can't get amazing, perfect data to target the exact right person. You don't know who's thinking about moving or who they can refer and all those things.
Exactly. So there is our list that we recommend you guys kind of have in place before you execute the campaign. Underneath that, we have the how to execute section where we give you this link here where you can then edit this template inside of Canva, which is super easy to do. And to get that template, you'll just click get template. This will open you up in a new tab where you can then scroll down and select view template. We do also have some videos for you guys. I think Lee's going to drop them in the chat to kind of help you with the editing process inside of Canva. If you've never edited inside of Canva, I know that can seem a little bit daunting, but it's a lot easier than you think it is. And once you do it one time, it's a breeze. And I also want to mention, we did clarify, I think it was last session, that you do not need the Canva Pro account to edit these templates inside of Canva. You
That's
can use
correct.
the free version, and that is so huge because we already know you guys are paying for the Listing Leads platform, obviously. So we don't want you guys to have to pay for all these extra other things, you know, and having the ability to use the Canva free version, I think is huge for you guys. But I will say the pro version is like, I think it's like $12.99.
Yeah.
If it is in your budget, and I know the new year is coming up, if it's in your budget, I highly recommend Canva Pro because it will just make your life so much easier editing inside of there. You can set up a brand kit inside of Canva Pro, like so many good things. I'm not sponsored by Canva Pro, by the way. Like
Maybe you should be, but
I wish. But yes, you can use the free version to edit our templates, which is amazing. And you'll just get that template, edit it inside of there, and then Lee dropped that video in the chat for you guys to kind of walk through the process. It's not the exact same campaign, but it's the same idea, and you're kind of doing the same things inside of there. So if you'll kind of set a tab side by side on your computer and watch the video and kind of edit the template as you go, once you do it one time, it'll be a breeze. The rest of these, they're so easy to edit. We also give you the steps to submit this to a print shop, but if you want to print these out on your printer, totally can do that as well. You do not have to go to a print shop, but we know some people do prefer that, or maybe you don't have a printer, but there's the steps to do that. And we're going to give you that target audience one more time at the bottom. And this is how that direct mail template will look once you've finished editing. Very minimal editing needed here. Again, you don't need some fancy graphic design work on these. They just need to be edited as is. Replace this logo with yours, headshot with your headshot, and then obviously replace, unless you want to leave, like we said with the others, unless you want to leave Jimmy at the bottom, hey, you do you, but you might get some responses. I just don't know if it's the ones that you're gonna want.
not relevant ones, but that's okay.
Right. So yeah, so you'll just want to edit those pieces. And like I said, with that video that he shared in the chat, it kind of walks you through a similar campaign.
Yeah, it really is easy. And again, I've seen people posting in the Facebook group about, hey, I just bought this printer so I can print out these letters because it's way cheaper than doing it at the thing or whatever. Yeah, print it at your office.
Yeah.
You know, the key here is just to execute.
Right.
We lean so hard into this because we know it works. The people that just do it, it works for, and we want that for you very, very much. So we don't want to overcomplicate it. It's easy to overcomplicate, and there are a lot of complicated things in real estate. This is one of the few plug and play things, and we're pretty proud of that.
Exactly. Let me see. I'm going to show you guys now an example of one of our radius letters, and this one is actually a postcard, a little bit different than the last one. So this is the Did You Hear About Your Neighbor campaign. And basically this postcard keeps it simple on the front, then delivers the punch on the back. It's clear, concise, gives the timeline showing exactly how you help the seller navigate uncertainty, prep their home, and secure a great outcome. So again, we have the before you get started section. This is for that radius list. So you'll need the ability to quickly pull 100 to 200 homes around a specific property for this specific campaign.
Hannah, I didn't say anything, but I did drop the link in the chat as well to, we have a new doc for right now. It's just a Google Doc. It'll be on the site soon. Um,
Yes.
ways to pull those addresses, that you can do it yourself, partner with a title company, paid lists. So I did drop a link in the chat to another tool that should help you more easily find these radius lists.
Perfect. Then we have the how to execute section here. Same idea. Click this, it'll open up into a new tab. You'll scroll down and select view template. You'll be able to edit that inside of Canva. And again, really the main things that you're changing on this one is colors to match your branding and then that logo. Obviously, you'll add a screenshot from Google Maps inside of that little area there, but really, really simple. Give you those steps again for the print shop if you need it. Target audience, again, is that radius list. And here's the example. And since this is a postcard, it's a front and back. So we have the front here, what that will kind of look like. And then if you scroll down, this is the back of that postcard, kind of giving a rundown of what we briefly mentioned in the intro. So really, really good one. I love this. I did want to mention, this may be one that you want to take to a print shop. I don't know, because it is a postcard. I'm sure there's still ways to do that on a printer. I am not a printer pro, but I'm sure
You're too young to be a printer pro. I remember printing out banners that you pulled the dot matrix stuff off the side, but that's not what we're here to talk about. But yeah, no, these would definitely come out better printed through a company. And again, there's links in that doc to companies that can do it for you, that can pull the addresses for you. I think, just occurred to me, Anna, honestly, one of the things I think that's pretty interesting is the way we position this is, if you want to just spend money and get it done, that's a thing. If you're looking to save money and just execute things, we've provided plenty of things where you can just do that. And Jimmy and I always talk about leading with revenue. Like, do the simple things that don't cost you money, make some money doing that, and then you can start sending direct mail consistently every month to a huge group of people and make a beautiful custom postcard or whatever. But this is really about going from 0 to 1, or from maybe 1 to 2 for you guys. I like to say it becomes addicting almost. Once you see it work, you're like, cool, I just paste this in here and send it. It works. Then I text them, then that works. Then I send some mail and get some more people. Like, that's what we're going for here.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's so funny, like, people in the Facebook group. And by the way, guys, I'm sure we've said it on the call already, but if you are not a part of that Facebook mastermind group, please join. There is constantly things being dropped in that group. People having success with campaigns, people saying, hey, I'm sending out this direct mail campaign today. Like, it's just a lot of really, really motivating bits and bobs in there from people that are actually using listing leads and actually seeing success from the campaigns. So if you're not a part of that, definitely join. There's also just really great questions asked in that group. And Jimmy's in that group, Lee's in that group, me, our support team. So 9 times out of 10, that question has an answer in the comments, which is amazing. So definitely join that. And I'm going to go back to the listing attraction plan. And now we just kind of want to talk about turning this that we talked to you guys about, the big 3, into a plan. If you commit to this for just 30 days, you are going to see traction, not from luck, but from momentum. So here's kind of your brief checklist, and I'll let Lee kind of give you guys a send off here to really motivate you for the next 30 days. But your checklist is send those 2 emails per week, that deal of the week email and the value-based email of the week. Again, on Mondays, 9 times out of 10, just not this Monday, we're going to have a deal of the week email for you on Monday. You can always sign up for the AI mode if you're interested in that, where it'll automatically send that email for you on Mondays. And then you're going to want to send that value-based email of the week. And that's going to be the email on that following Tuesday. And then you're also going to want to send those 100 to 200 texts per week. And then the 1 to 2 mailers per month. Those are the 3 things that should be on your checklist for the next 30 days.
That's the homework. I just dropped it in the chat too. So if somebody wants to do their homework, it's there. And again, we promise this works. We literally see it every day and it's awesome. And we want more people to have this. So, and that is somewhat in order. If you can only do one thing, I'd say do a deal of the week email. If you can only do 2 things, add the email of the week. Obviously, the text follow up is the point of sending the emails, but I love the way you said it, Hannah, and obviously we're recording, so that's great. It's that momentum, it's the consistency of doing it that provides the results. The content is important. You got to have good content, but good content sitting on a website and not landing in people's inboxes or text inboxes is now I sound really old. That's not a word. In their texts, and you know, there's no owning content is great. Sending it out to people is where it's at.
Exactly. And that's the beauty of listing leads, and that's where you really see success. We've done most of the work for you. I mean, if you look at the AI tool, that's literally all of the work for you. You
Right.
just send it out, you know? So we've tried to do 99% of the work for you. Now the ball's in your court. It's time for you to use the big 3 and use these campaigns that we've given you guys to go out there and execute, and you will see success. I'm telling you, join that Facebook mastermind group. I will literally scream it from the rooftops forever, because they are seeing so much success with these campaigns in that group. And there's what's really cool about the Facebook group is sometimes people will do a campaign, send it out, and maybe not see as much success, but then they'll tweak something or add something different, or send it maybe to a different group of people and see like this insane amount of success with the campaign. So just seeing what they do, kind of trials and errors of other members of the platform, it's just really, really encouraging to see and motivating, especially if you're just now starting out on the platform. Somebody Kyle asked in the chat, Lee, if there are any promotions running for joining Listing Leads at the moment.
Yeah, I'm trying to grab the link to it. It just did something weird for me. There we go. I don't know why it's not loading, but yeah, I'll drop that. I'll paste that in the chat. We typically don't have ongoing discounts, but we do have a free trial. And I just linked to that as well. So it's a 7-day free trial for the Listing Leads content. And then when you have Listing Leads content, you can add on AI mode, and that's a 30-day trial. But yeah, so a 7-day trial is the current best option. And we don't frequently, we stuck to those plans for a long time. So there's not like a Black Friday special or anything like that. We want to honor our past and ongoing people as well, by not doing too many crazy things. But we also want you to be able to try it out and have some success before you pay for it.
Exactly. So I guess for the next few minutes, we'll just kind of give you guys a chance to drop anything in the chat. If you want us to run back through something on the platform, maybe we touched on something and kind of went too fast. Anything you guys want to see, just navigating the platform. If y'all have questions about that, we'll just kind of give you guys a few minutes here to ask any of those questions. But it's been a blast with you guys today. I can't believe it's already November the 11th, which is so wild to me.
It's crazy. I will say this: we do have this is a secret pro tip. We do have a end of the year challenge that's coming very, very soon. So we'll definitely announce it in the Facebook group and email everybody. But we've got some really good stuff coming up end of year to get people teed up to have a great 2026. In fact, somebody posted in the Facebook group or maybe in our webinar chat the other day that their broker tells them that 11/15 is really the start of the new year, because if you get business on 11/15, that's going to be closing in January or February. So I think it's super important to this is a great time for us to get our stuff together. And Kyle, yeah, great question. So AI mode, it has two options as far as contacts go. They're both very simple. There's currently a first party integration with Follow Up Boss. So if you have Follow Up Boss, it's smart list, super easy, ready, set, go. It also has a really, really basic CSV upload. You can upload as much data as you want, but all that's required is email address. Um, so for most people, you can export from a CRM and just import straight in. We also don't have it yet, but very soon we'll have a Zap. So you would be able, yeah, so Sierra, perfect. So perfect example. Sierra is in Zapier. You can do a super simple Zap that says, hey, every time a new lead hits this, add it there. Another interesting thing about Sierra in particular is it's pretty easy to do exports since your last export. So it's pretty easy to append that list and be like, hey, now I've added. But at this point, there's no first party with Sierra. So, but it's all coming. It's brand new. It's really super brand new, honestly. AI mode. We just launched it a month or two ago. We're loving. I saw some preview in the new reporting right before we hopped on, and it's pretty exciting. We're getting really good open rates and engagement, and we're really excited about it. And I want to mention Kyle's earlier question, which I thought was brilliant too. Mentioned possibly using a VA to do it. That's
Yes.
great. Like that's awesome. Use a VA. Like AI mode is for if you need it. If you have a VA, this can be an excellent rote. Hey, every week, pull my list from Sierra, or send it from Sierra, however you want to do it. But I love using a VA. We created AI mode to help you if you need it, not to make you get it and not use it.
Exactly.
So yes, and we're definitely working on that. It's brand new. We just did Follow Boss first because it's the easiest. But yeah, 100%. We would definitely want you to be able to say like, hey, people that opened the last email or people on my website in the last 7 days. It's very much coming. I just hung up a call before we hopped on this about that. So we're
Yes.
working on it. Hannah, I have a crazy question that's not
Okay.
relevant really to the webinar. Can you
Okay.
hit refresh? Awesome. Thanks, Cal. Can you hit refresh on your screen there?
Of course.
Interesting. Mine looks a little bit different. We're
Really?
rolling out some updates. My listing attraction plans, same content, but it's
Mm,
structured a little bit differently. The font even looks a little bit different. So I guess
wow.
they're working on some updates because mine looks a little bit different than yours does all of a sudden. So
Cool. Okay.
we're always doing that. But yeah,
Yes.
thank you guys for being on. And again, you can always hit support at listingleads.com for
Yes.
anything. Um, Great support team. Hopefully you
Yes.
don't get stuck with me, but if I have to jump in, I'll certainly jump in and help as well. And we'll go from there. We'll happy to send you videos or make sure you guys get started. So Hannah, why don't you take us out with a little motivation and a reminder to do the homework?
Yes. 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 So homework for today: send out the deal of the week email. If you did not do that yesterday, use the AI tool that we have for you, or the deal of the week tool that we have for you guys. It's just going to make it a million times easier. And then send out that email of the week, the value-based email of the week, that up 56% email. And tomorrow, follow up with the text. And if it's in your budget, send out one of those direct mail campaigns that we talked about today. Or if you come over here on the left-hand side, you can find one that maybe better fits your particular situation. But do those 3 things. We can't wait to see you guys' success with the campaigns. Definitely join, again, the Facebook Mastermind group, and drop in the group the campaigns that you're sending out. Let us know the successes that you have with the campaign, and we will talk to you guys soon. Again, if y'all have any questions after today's call or after today's session, hit up our support team. They are literally the best. Drop a question in the Facebook Mastermind group, and we will make sure that your question gets an answer. I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. And if we don't see you again until after Thanksgiving, if that is something that you guys celebrate Thanksgiving, have a great Thanksgiving. Eat all the yummy food. I know that I will. And we will talk to you guys soon.